So in the previous chapter, we've created a smart contract with counter functionality as well as deposit, withdrawal features. And this smart contract functions as a backend infrastructure for our application. And in this tutorial, we will develop a front end for user interface, enabling the end user to access it through the web browser. So it's important to remember that the application we are building is decentralized. So decentralized applications, dApps, follow specific rules. So one rule is that the backend must be consisting only of smart contracts without relying on any centralized servers. Another rule is that the front end must run exclusively on the client side and be open source. So anybody can take the code and run their own front end. There are more, but as of now, those two are quite important to follow. By adhering to these rules, we ensure that we do not depend on a backend server to deliver our front end. If such a server was utilized, it would be inherently centralized, since not all end users would have equal access, and as a result, our entire application would become centralized too. And in this chapter, we will work with another Ton wallet called TonKeeper. This will give you better understanding of how different wallets operate, and the wallet will communicate with our dApp via a protocol called TonConnect 2. If you choose different wallets than TonKeeper, please verify that it supports this version of TonConnect. Don't forget to make sure that your wallet is connected to the correct network, mainnet or testnet. TonKeeper works by default on Ton mainnet. And if you decide to work on testnet, you will need to switch the app manually. So open the settings and tap 5 times quickly on the version number on the bottom. And the dev menu should appear. You can click on switch to testnet and make it switch. You can use the same very menu to later on return to the mainnet. So let's try to understand, why do we even need TonConnect when we decide to create a user interface for our contract? So we can easily spot that there are 3 parties involved. First, Ton blockchain. It enables creation of trust-minimized applications and services at a massive scale. Second, we have apps that provide the UI to the infinite range of functionality in Ton based on smart contracts, but they don't have immediate access to user funds. And then we have wallets. Wallets provide the UI to approve the transactions and hold users' cryptographic keys securely on their personal devices. So this separation of concerns enables rapid innovation and high level of security for the users. So wallets do not need to build gardens of ecosystem themselves, while the apps do not need to take the risk of holding the user's accounts and funds. So TonConnect is a bridge that crosses the conceptual gap. So to summarize, TonConnect is meant to streamline the way apps interact with Ton blockchain via users' wallets. You will sometimes see TonConnect 2, TonConnect. This is just the most up-to-date version of the protocol, so stick to the wallets that support TonConnect 2. So you can see that we have our contract folder, and this folder contains tests, deploys, and everything. But now we will initiate another project that is going to be separate, and our front end will be run by React. We will rely on Vite as a framework, actually as a template. And we can simply create a new project with yarn create. And we will choose Vite as a template. And then we go with, let's say, main contract. No, let's say first contract front end. This is going to be just the name of our project. And then we can also choose the template. We can do React TypeScript and run this command. I actually created it inside of the contract folder, but I can easily move it here. So we can see here the generated set of files. And we can see that this is React code, but we didn't install the dependencies. So what we want to do is we want to actually get into this directory, and we need to run command like yarn to install all the dependencies. Great. So now our code is fine. And we will need to install a few more libraries. So to work with Tone, we should install libraries such as Tone, Tone Core, and Tone Crypto. We'll see why we need them. But for now, let's just install them. And you're already aware of Tone Access, the one that provides us with RPC endpoints. So we're going to install it as well. Because obviously, we will have to read from the blockchain, and we need the RPC endpoint for that. And there's one more thing that we would need to install. It is very specific, and it basically is caused by how the Tone library is dependent on Node.js buffer functionality. So we'll just install this one here, so it would nivellate the polyfill issues. Great. So at this point, we would need to also configure the white config TypeScript file. So I'm going to collapse this project, and we can see this one here. So we will change it so one of the plugins would be Node polyfills that we get exactly from the library that we just installed. So if you want to see the empty template, we can just run yarn dev. And it provides us with localhost that we can now use to actually see what kind of template we have. I opened it in my browser, and this is what I see. So this count has nothing to do with our counter. This is just a template functionality. And basically, at this point, we have the ready-made project. And in next lesson, we are going to connect it with Tone Connect 2. So our functionality of interacting with user would be also possible. See you soon.